segment, we talked about all the endless possibilities we have when we choose containers for the landscape. And today we're going to look at the even more endless possibilities of plants to put in them. We're going to start with a container that is really pretty simple and fairly elegant and tall and narrow, and just look at how a single change of plant can really change the appearance of this. And one of the things that we talk about is plants that are thrillers. That means something that is really, really dramatic. This is something called taro, and as that one fills out over the season, you can see how that would just really create a very interesting, elegant sort of an appearance. Another plant that we can use in containers with this sort of leaves is lots of the different cannas, including the ones that are striped. If we change that and we put in something like an ornamental grass, you can see what's going to happen as the season progresses. We have something that's entirely green. It'll get the seed heads on it. It becomes an architectural statement, whether you use it singly or in a grouping. We can also do something as interesting as choose one of the tropicals, like this hibiscus, and you can see how the warm orange tones and the bold character of the foliage and the flowers really make that a statement in the landscape. And then if you look at all the different plants that I've pulled to put around it, if you wanted to, you could do coleus and pick up on the stripes and the colors. We could do one of the new millets, the purple millet, Purple Majesty or Jester, great big tall spikes by the end of the season. You could even do something like variegated foliage, which is going to really lighten up this particular combination. If we had a great big container that was out of this metallic material, you could basically take anything in here and combine those to really fill up that space. When we're working with little containers like this that are in really bright colors, you want to do one of two things. Either choose a plant that's got great foliage and it really becomes something that during the season just is sort of a placeholder and picks up a little bit on the color in the container, and you can see that orange in this particular euphorbia, which is actually a perennial plant. Or you can do something like this and pick up on a different color. Again, this is a foliage plant, and you notice how both of these really complement the planters that they're in. They don't necessarily look great together, however, because of the pink in this one and the orange in that one. So look what happens if we actually add one of these sun coleuses that has both the purple color in it that has a little pink and the orange that is a little bit of a warm color, and all of a sudden you have something that's really pretty dramatic. The other thing you could do is pick up on something as simple as the Gerbera daisies. You'd probably want more than one, and maybe you'd choose the bright orange in this one and you'd put the gold in this one, and that again gives you a totally different combination in these two little planters. What I have on the cart right now is a family of different plants, any of which could be used in any combination in almost any container, and it's lots of different foliage plants. We have icicles, helichrysum. This is something called diamond dust, grows in part shade or full sun. We have some trailers, the good old marguerite. We have nemesia. We have another couple things over here that are succulent, a little bit of a geranium. You'll notice how we've picked up with the purple heart and the Persian shield and a little bit of the purple in one of the sages. We have some variegated foliage in one of the artemisias called limelight, and in fact, if you don't put this one in a container, it's going to be all over your property. The little sedum called Angelina, which adds that great chartreuse. We also have variegated foliage in one of the iris, and finally, sort of our thriller in this one is the great big salvia called black and blue. You could do vegetables, you could do combinations with herbs, all this great texture, a little bit of color. You could even add different colors to this sort of combination and come up with something you really liked. And the best advice I can give you if you're planting containers for your own garden is go through the garden center or the greenhouse, put combinations together on a cart like this before you decide exactly what you want. Keep in mind the containers you're going to put them in, and just have fun.